It's a beautiful Monday by the beach, and it's a really important reminder to be grateful of the lifestyle we get to enjoy, the freedom, the space, the clean air, And it's a reminder as to why we're doing what we're doing, why we're earning money online, why we're growing businesses to 6 and 7 figures, but without the burnout, without overworking ourselves. It's to enjoy life, to have the lifestyle that comes with it, right? That's why we work our butts off for this. But this video, I wanted to make it about practical steps, practical things you can do to take yourself to that next level of income. Now, I understand, depending on where you're at, the answers are going to be pretty different to each other. So I had to make this general enough that anybody watching it gets something good out of it, and specific enough that anybody watching this goes, yeah, that's relevant to me. So we'll break this down into what would you do from 0 to 5K per month, 5K to 25K per month, 25K to, call it, I don't know, 60, 70K per month and up, okay? And the reason we break this down is because the problems you're gonna face at each step are very different to each other. 0 to 5K, your main issues relate to getting more customers. You don't have enough customers, that's why you're not getting 5K per month. And the other thing that is pretty common is you don't really know the value or how to give value to the customer such that they want to pay you 5K per month, right? Or several customers want to pay you a total of 5K per month. So it's a thing about not knowing what you're selling and what value you provide in your offer and not getting enough customers. So at 0 to 5K, your focus should be all about improving marketing, improving your ability to persuade, ability to speak and communicate in a way that makes people want to do more business with you, and improving the value offer that you put together. So being able to put together better value in your offers, right? That is your main focus from 0 to 5K. All right, change the scene because the original footage had a bit of a technical issue. We'll try that again. 5K to 25K, these are the two things you need to work on. The first thing is still do the same things that got you from 0 to 5K a month. Increase the number of customers, increase your sales, which means exploring things like how do I use paid advertising, monetizing on paid ads so that the amount I spend on paid advertising actually generates more in sales and customers and profits than what I'm spending out. And there's all strategies behind that. The other thing as well is social media content and being able to monetize on social content as well. So it's not just about having an efficient content creation machine where you're pumping out content very regularly. It's also not about getting a lot of subscribers and views alone, which is important, but it's not the only thing. The third thing is you actually have to be able to monetize on that traffic, monetize on that attention that you're getting. Otherwise, you can only go so far and then it becomes unsustainable. So one thing is increasing the number of customers, i.e. marketing. The other thing that will take you from 5K to 25K is thinking about how do I expand my ecosystem and make my business more valuable to the customer such that the customer, business and or products, more valuable to the customer such that the customer wants to transact more regularly, more often, at a higher value with my business, okay? Because that is what's going to take you easily from 5K a month to several tens, 25, 30, 40, 50K per month easy, is that simple thinking of how do I get my customer to transact even more with my business in an ethical and in a valuable way. So in other words, it looks like this. Your customer will only want to pay money for anything. It doesn't matter if it's in your business or someone else's business. They only want to pay for something when the thing they're getting back is perceived to be more important than the money that they're giving out, right? And so it's thinking like, how do I add more offers, for example, so that the same customer, instead of just paying for 1 or 2 things at my business, they're actually transacting a lot more and a lot more often. It's also thinking about, is it worth creating or thinking about how do I introduce high ticket offers so that we can sort of tier them up. You have the low-end customers that can only afford X amount, but then you have the high-end customers that can afford your $10,000, $50,000 offers, right? So is that a possibility? And you start thinking about how do I expand and improve my ecosystem, but still focus on the customers that are already in my business, right? So you're still thinking about the customer first. You're still thinking about being valuable to the customer such that the customer with an open and happy heart wants to transact even more. And that will naturally result in sales increasing. So now, that brings us to what will take you to the next level, which is 25K to 70K. Now let's roll with the original clip. From 25K to around 70K and then up from there, you don't have issues with any of the things I just talked about. The issue is with scaling, because that's where things start to unravel and start to get messy. You're too busy to do everything by yourself, so you need to have members in your team doing stuff for you. But if you've had more than 10 employees like I have, politics, people get lazy, people start backstabbing each other, there has to be a culture, people cheat you, your employees cheat you, that happens sometimes. So it's systems with team members systems that automate, so automated system, and this includes using AI and software as well, right? So it's not just human resources, it's also technological resources, but it's all about automation, simplification, eliminating what's unnecessary in your system. Because sometimes when you're that busy and you have that many moving parts, you miss the unnecessary things that should be that's an unnecessary expense, get rid of it, you know? So it's all about streamlining systems, automating systems, simplifying systems, eliminating unnecessary parts to your system, and then strategic acquisitions. That's the big one, right? Strategic acquisitions that make your ecosystem, your empire, even bigger. That's the steps at each stage of growth, okay? Now, I said all that within 10 minutes. Of course, the theory is there. It's now just about execution. So we'll be putting together a website with all sorts of free material, and you can even just, consult or chat with us. And my point is, there is a clear path to growing your sales higher, and it's all in the interest of one thing: being able to be free, right? Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to work 24/7. Nobody wants to overwork themselves. We do our business because we want to have a better lifestyle and more choices and more freedom. We don't do it because we want to put ourselves in a little prison, in our own little 9-to-5 job that we own. We don't want to do that, right? So I hope what I talked about here helps and adds value to you. Reach out to us if you want to talk about anything else, and hopefully we can help you succeed and grow your business. See you guys next time, and here's to your success.